My grandmother, she was ill for a number of years before she passed on. And it was spending her twilight years together with me that I realized the importance of being able to grow old with grace and with dignity. And that was the reason why I left the EDB and started up my social enterprise. I want to be the in-community champion for caregiving programs so that our community can take care of each other in a sustainable way. And this is through training, this is through local support groups, as well as the creation of careers in community care.
So over the years, I've been helping our seniors in Kreta Ayer learn how to use technology like handphones, smartphones, and messaging apps. And our youth in Jalan Kukuk to gain access to laptops and for tech skills because we formed a Catch Plus coding program for them. Day to day, I've also been on the ground helping our stall owners, shopkeepers, and hawkers to digitize, so teaching them how to use digital payments and onboarding them onto digital delivery platforms. And this has been particularly useful during COVID-19.
I hope to be the voice in Parliament that upholds social mobility. And according to SM Taman in his recent speech, and I quote, "We must never become a society where social pedigree and connections count for more than ability and effort." Now, because of the non-linear path that I had taken, I strongly believe that education is the key to social mobility. This is how we can allow people who have less or did less well to move up and prevent our society from being stratified. Singapore must continue to be a nation of opportunities for all, not for just the privileged few or the lucky ones, but for every Singaporean.
So for various reasons, there will be those amongst us that will need help. For our youth and for those in our community that needs help, I've decided to stand in this election as a part of the PAP team. What we have in Singapore is a system that works fine. But a working system doesn't mean that it doesn't need work. In fact, we need to work hard to keep the system going, refine the system over time, keep it relevant. And I want to be a part of this effort to keep us going strong.
Those years of serving in volunteerism led me to think a lot more deeply about the kind of Singapore society that we want to be, and therefore the kind of policies we ought to have. And so thinking very deeply and looking at myself as an example, kid from the lower middle income segment, able to compete in the global arena and do well, this is the kind of Singapore that I want to see continue, where there are more opportunities for everyone, especially those who are not well off, that we can all aspire and live the aspiration to a life better than that our parents had. I want to play a part to improve the system, to hone the system. And I know that Singapore is not perfect, but having lived in all these international financial centers, I can say personally that Singapore is the best.
Over the past 2 years, I've been actively volunteering in Sembawang. But I first got to know Sembawang 20 years ago. That was from the air. That time I was flying a helicopter over Sembawang. I spent a lot of time in Sembawang Air Base. Most of my Air Force years were spent there. So Sembawang is really a very special place for me. I have plenty of fond memories there. And now that I have a chance to go back to Sembawang to serve on the ground, I'm really excited to work closely with our volunteers, with our residents there. And I really hope to do more and to help the residents. I know that the past few months must have been very difficult for many people, especially those who are badly affected by the COVID pandemic. But I'm confident that so long we work closely together, we stay hopeful, we help each other, we will prevail.
I also trust in our youth today, and I hope to empower them, giving our young volunteers many opportunities to realize their potential. Their response during the COVID outbreak warmed my heart too. They reached out to frontline workers with their own initiative, with messages of encouragement collected from residents, and also installed hand sanitizers in lifts. I believe that our young not only have a lot to learn, but even more to give. What is important to me is to ensure that meritocracy remains attainable through a level playing field.